What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to another One Punch Man World video. All right, guys, Mexico day 3, and I'm putting out the same video on the same day. You guys, same clothes, everything. It's pretty crazy. I'm just doing back to back. So here we are. I'm probably running on the beach somewhere with my family or doing something. Hope you guys are enjoying your time. Here we are going into another showcase, and we're going to talk about Metal Knight this time. Okay, so this is going to be one of the free SSRs you can pull. I'll do Tatsumaki tomorrow, actually. I decided to do this one first. Now, Metal Knight, the reason why I wanted to talk about him is because he is one of those negative damage dealing units, and we're going to go over this and explain why and how you can build him two different ways. Okay, so let's talk about that. Number one, if you look at his stats, he has a negative crit. If we take away the stats here, he's got 30%, he's got 75% and 105 here for crit damage. So he is actually a composure damage dealer, also an attack dealer, obviously a heavy attack dealer, and one that can actually take negative crit damage to his advantage. So we're going to talk a little bit about his impressions, his potential, etc. Now, his potential is very interesting, and we'll take a look at this one specifically because of what it does. Okay, so first off, during an annihilation mode, when the combo count reaches 100, let me play my controller here. This makes more sense. Circle, which is his third skill, reaches maximum power for each additional combo beyond 80. The damage of it increases by 0.8 with a maximum of 100%. Now, if you look at number 2, Resolute Attack, this is the one that actually gives you minus crit, but also increases your attack. Goes +3 here. Every 1% of negative crit rate generates an additional 0.1% damage bonus in battle with a maximum increase of 10%. So here, I actually did this correctly when I did the video. For him specifically, at least. The very least. Him specifically. So actually, you want minus crit rate for him because that'll actually give him more of a damage boost. So you can see here, having Resolute Attack and those Resolute things for Metal Knight actually makes a lot of sense. So I had that correctly on my original video. I took it down, but at least you guys understand how you want to build him. So that's one way to go. Expand the area of precision bombing by 50% and the range of optimal distance by 25. So now you can be a little bit more optimal and do more damage. What optimal means is where the crosshair is between where you are and the enemy is. If you have a certain distance, you do more damage. This just increases that distance further for you. Number 4, Resolute Attack now goes +1, and Impassion goes +2, so that's more attack. You can see here he's built to be an attack damage dealer, not a crit damage dealer. Preload missiles for normal attacks get 15% damage bonus for 8 seconds. And then in Annihilation mode, when the combo count exceeds 100, each additional combo reduces the cooldown of the next termination program by 0.25%, up to a maximum reduction of 30 seconds. And that's the nuclear bomb that he drops when he's in that annihilation mode. Okay, so there you guys go. That is the essentials. Now go to his training mode. You guys can see everything he does. I highly recommend people do look at this because especially the skill list here, it does give you a little bit of a breakdown on all the potentials and everything that you can find and understanding how he works overall, right? And you guys can see here he has a passive SSR exclusive quality, grants a 70% damage bonus when negative crit hit is triggered by an attack. So he actually has this bonus that you can do. Outside of that, the potential here is also available. Now this applies to every character. If we look at Zombie Man real quick, right, and you look at his skill list, if I go to gameplay and see his potential, you guys can see he also has an SSR quality. Gain attack equal to 45% of composure attack. So it's very important to build him composure-like, right? So these are the kind of things you need to look at when you're building your SSR units. Geno, same scenario. If you go to his gameplay, check out his skill list. Real quick, you can see Geno Cyborg of Justice has both melee form and remote form, and he is enhanced when switches form. So very, very important to understand these things. You can click on the details and understand further what that means. Now, going back here to our boy Metal Knight, let's talk a little bit about his impression. So he's got obviously an SSR impression, SR impression, and R impression. So the R impression here gives him a basic attack, but also applies might to yourself for 70 seconds, granting a 50% composure reduction bonus. So it's going to help you break composure. The SR version is a basic defense up, but also gives you focus firepower, gains a 3% boost if the crit rate is below 80%. An additional 6% damage bonus is granted. So you can see here, you actually do want to build him with minus crit. The more minus crit for him, the better he does overall. Don't build him with crit plus. Build him with minus crit. He's actually better with it. So he's actually going to benefit from negative crit damage, okay? So applies encouragement to the character and additional ally for 60 seconds, granting a 24% attack bonus. Overpower attack units gain 60%. And then his SSR version is each negative increase the damage of orbital strike by 0.12%, sorry guys, and gives them base attack. And then here, of course, grants all allies immunity to paralysis, rupture, and coma for 40 seconds. When immune against enemies that can trigger it, you reduce their defense by 8%, okay? Attacks against enemies that can trigger these things. So anybody who has this debuff on you, you actually reduce their defense by 8%. So very, very cool. Gives you immunity, gives the opponent minus defense buff, and also gives you orbital strike a little bit more more with each negative crit you have in your arsenal. So you guys can see he is actually a unit that thrives off of negative crit. So you actually do want to build him the way I built him. So let's go back into his merit or his will and memories and talk a little bit about how you want to build this character. So you guys can see here I have a lot of different things ready for Metal Knight. So we have resolute attack. You definitely want to focus on this, and you want to try to get him to minus 80% if you possibly can. So push this to as much as you can. 4 is probably preferable. So in the next one here, you want to do all bullet firing. You definitely want to get him up here as for this as well too. If you can get him to level 3, that's even better. After 3 seconds without moving, Metal Knight gains a 24% damage bonus. The effect is removed after he moves. During annihilation mode though, precision bombing restores recharge 100% faster, which is really, really cool. So you can just spam that pretty much. Another one you want to give him is resolute rage. So again, minus the crit, increase the damage increase as much as you can. And those are going to be his big ones. Indomitable will is not that important for him. I have it on there, but it's not important. Reader's Mind, you definitely don't want that on there for him. I actually switch that out for him because I had that there just for testing purposes. Let me just see who had that. I think it's one of my guys had it. Where is that? Let me go back here for a sec. I think he had it here. Yeah, there we go. So let's add this back on there for him. Swap. And then put this one back on Genos. Okay, so you definitely want to build him with any of the resolute things that you see available because that's going to help push damage for him quite a bit. And you want him to be as low as possible on the crit damage or crit rate part. Okay, so try to give him as much of that as you can. The resolute rage and the all bullet firing. And then also if you can push for resolute attack, those are going to be your main builds for this guy. Remember, he feeds off of negative crit, so the more of that you have, the better. Now, if you guys are looking for memories, just go here. Anything with the word resolute in it is going to be your best friend. So again, resolute attack we talked about, resolute rage, but there's also countermeasures that you can do. There's also ones with distance where actually you benefit from being at a distance where you can do more damage at distances. So keep that in mind, but you definitely want to get the main 3. Now acute insight is not that important for him because this one here is just giving you more time to dodge because he can dodge fairly well. The one I'm referring to though is first strike. Get him this as well because this boosts your ultimate attack, and try to get him raid break as well too. And this will boost his composure. So those are going to be his main ones: first strike, raid break, resolute attack, resolute rage, and those ones are the ones you actually want to focus on. You could also throw in impassioned for more attack bonus. Okay, so try to get those traits in there, and you'll get yourself a pretty damn powerful unit that can nuke everything in sight and take advantage of the negative crit damage bonus that a lot of units actually suffer from. He actually benefits. So make sure you guys are looking at the potential to see what how they benefit from the negative damage, and you guys may actually end up coming on top with that as one of your bonus things to use in battle. All right, guys, this is Payne. Hope the video helped. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Take care.